What's going on, guys? So I have to say it is kind of weird not doing daily updates, but I don't have much to update you on. Lately I've just been editing like crazy, and I also did some shopping because the whole week and a half that I was wrapping my car, I didn't go anywhere. So I finally got a haircut, did some shopping the past couple days, but other than that I've been editing like crazy. The reason I'm making this video today, which is Friday, obviously because you're going to see it later today, is because I am getting ready for the weekend. So this weekend, once again, we have Cars and Coffee. I'm still in the process of editing last Cars and Coffee from 2 weeks ago, but hopefully that'll be up later today, tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. In any case, Cars and Coffee is on Saturday. Pittsburgh Car Scene has a car meet on Sunday called Pittsburgh's Finest. I'm sorry, Steel City Finest, my bad. Steel City Finest is Sunday. It's over near Heinz Field, so we are going to that. And I hope this wind noise isn't screwing me up. But anyway, we are going to 2 car meets this weekend. I want to make sure that my car looks as good as possible. So number 1, I'm going to fix my hood scoop. Number 2, I'm going to fix my mirror. I'm sorry, my driver's side mirror, because those are the 2 worst. The passenger side door handle's pretty bad, but the hood scoop looks terrible, and the driver's side mirror is peeling because I just cut it weird and I didn't post heat it. So we're going to redo that so it looks like the passenger mirror, which does look good. If you saw my last update video, then you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know if we're going to get to it today, but I just got this from Amazon. This is a 60-inch by 48-inch roll of vinyl tint from Vivid. It is different than most tints because it has a air release pattern on it, which you could kind of see, but honestly from like 2 or 3 feet, I don't think it's going to be noticeable. But it is a dry application tint, which is really cool because I'll show you my tail lights. They are wet application, and as I mentioned in my last video, you tend to get air bubbles and it's really hard to get rid of them. My driver's side isn't too bad, but you could see some wrinkling around the top. And my passenger side, I believe this is what I did first, has peeling here and also a little bit around the top and around the edges. So I can't stand that. It looks like crap, and it shouldn't look like that because I just did it. Could I have done a better job? Possibly, but honestly I think that film really sucked. So I'm gonna give this Vivid a try. In fact, the old tint, I still have a whole roll of it because it was a pain in the ass. I need to do my third brake light and my front headlights as well. So we're gonna be doing that. I don't know if it's gonna happen today, but that is the plan. Also, this Vivid is more of a gray, where this tint here has a yellow tinge to it. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera, but in person, this definitely looks more like a true gray, where this other tint has a little bit of yellow to it, which I'm not really a fan of. So that's what we're doing today. If I have time today, I'm also going to put in my passenger side fender liner because that's been missing and it looks like crap. And then if I have time after that, we're doing this. So that's the game plan for today. I'll check in with you guys, let you know how it goes. I will video rewrapping my mirror and my hood scoop, but you're going to see that along with the rest of my vinyl series whenever those videos drop. So I'll check in with you guys a little bit later and let you know how everything went. All right, guys, so I figured since I'm wrapping my mirror, I might as well just set you up on a tripod and take you along. I'll walk you through it as I do it. This is going to be super quick and not super in-depth. I will have more in-depth videos coming, but this is going to be like probably 5 to 10 minutes, so I might as well show you what I'm doing. My hood scoop is going to be a lot more in-depth, so I will not be recording that. Actually, I will be recording it. I just won't be recording it and putting it in this video for this update. But I'm going to set you up on the tripod here, and then I'm going to walk you through everything that I'm doing. So, first of all, make sure that you have a clean work surface. I already dusted this down. You don't want any contaminants getting on your wrap because there is going to be wrap on the outside of your mirror, and it's going to pick up any dust or dirt that is left behind. So first of all, I have to peel off the old wrap, and I did not post heat this properly, which is why it is peeling around the edges. Don't really care because I wasn't super happy with this install anyhow, but once you peel this back, you'll be able to see that my driver's side mirror was screwed up, and I actually had to sand down part of the top. And I also broke some of the clips when I was taking it off because it's old and they're fragile, but also because, I don't know, there's just a weird number of clips on here and it's kind of weird how they hook in. But they basically just snapped off because this is old. And for anybody who's worried about wrap just peeling off, that's kind of one of my concerns, but it does not peel off easily, so it's not like it's just going to blow off in the wind or anything like that. It actually takes a considerable amount of effort to peel it off. So, now that I have that removed, I want to make sure that I did not miss any pieces like this, because if I don't get rid of this, then whenever I go to put on my new wrap, it's going to stick and it's going to cause a mess. Next, I need to clean this up, so I'm going to start with cleaning the inside as well as the outside. Because if you don't clean the inside, all this dust and dirt that's on here is going to stick to your vinyl, and it's not going to stick to your mirror. So to have your vinyl stick to the mirror, you need to clean it out. Now, you should be using 70% isopropyl alcohol. Anything stronger than that can damage the vinyl, and there's really no need to go stronger than that. So whenever I bought all my alcohol, I just bought it at Walmart. Wasn't sure how much I would need, so I bought like 6 bottles. Turns out I only used about 2, maybe 2.5. So even if you get 3 or 4 bottles, you should have plenty. But I just spray it on, wipe it off, use a brush if you need to. Clean up the outside of the mirror. Try to avoid touching the surface, just because that kind of defeats the point of wiping it. So, now that I have that, I have my roll of scraps. These are most of my scraps. I also have a roll that I have reserved for a new front bumper whenever I get that. But I like to keep all my scraps just in a neat roll so that I know where they are. And if it's something important, like my front bumper, I also have that labeled as front bumper, along with the dimensions and the date on it. So I know how old it is, because vinyl does have a shelf life with the adhesive. So obviously, if I go to wrap a bumper 5 years from now, I don't want to use that vinyl. I want to use some new vinyl. Actually, this is probably all that I need. So make sure you have enough. You obviously want to have a couple inches on each end, and you also want to account for the curvature of whatever item it is. So even though the mirror is only about this wide, you have to consider that you have to come around this curve. So I want to make sure that I have enough, which I do. I'm going to take my snitty, just snip it right there. All of this goes back into my box with my other scraps. And there's a couple ways to do this. First of all, I'm going to peel off this tape so I don't have to deal with that. But basically, I could set my piece down and then wrap over it. Or I can set this upside down and then place my piece on it. So I think for this application, I'm just going to place it down. It's a little bit easier for me. You could also set like a roll of tape, whether it's painter's tape, masking tape, duct tape, whatever, or some other object to give you some elevation. You don't want to set it right onto the surface and then wrap over it, because then all this is going to stick. If you have something elevating this, then you're free to wrap around it. And in most cases, that's probably simpler. Today, I'm just kind of in the mood to lay this flat and stick it on. Then I can pick it up and adjust it as I need to. Actually, this piece is quite a bit bigger than I need, so I'm going to trim it before I start screwing around with it. If you have too much vinyl, it creates a mess and is a pain in the ass. So you don't want to cut too short, but you want to make sure that you have a good size. And there is some stretch to the vinyl, but like I said, you also want to make sure that you account for the curvature of your piece. With vinyl wrap, you just don't want to freak out. If it gets wrinkled or bunches up, that's okay. Don't freak out. You could pull that stuff out. I am going to line up this edge first, because that really doesn't have much of a curve to it. Then I could pull it around. Now this is going to require some heat, and it is going to require some stretching. So this is a Wagner $30 heat gun. It's the lowest one, bought it at Home Depot, and I love it because I could stand it up, which makes it very easy to work with small pieces like this. And I also have it on the first setting. It has two settings, low and high. I have it on low for just stretching the vinyl. So now that I have this center portion stuck down, I want to take my squeegee and I'm going to lock all this in so that it doesn't move next time I go to pull the vinyl. If you get some wrinkles like this, don't worry. I'm going to lock it in behind that wrinkle. Then I'm going to peel it up and stretch it again. Add a little bit of heat, pull, stretch, and bring it down. In here we have a complex curve, so I'm going to add a little bit of heat, pull, stretch. There you go. Now I worked all these wrinkles out to the edge, so I just need to pull those out a little bit more. Same with up here and over on this side. So that's basically it. It's not perfect. I have a couple glue lines in there, but I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I'm not CK Wraps. But other than that, it's pretty perfect. There's a couple wrinkles around the edges, so you just pull that back, stretch it around. Then once you get all this vinyl on the inside, and you get your wrinkles out, I'm just going to cut along the inside of the mirror so it wraps all the way around. You get full coverage, and you don't see any seams. If you try to cut over a wrinkle, if it's on the inside, then it doesn't matter a whole lot. But if you cut over wrinkles, you're going to have a jagged edge. So you kind of want to try and avoid that if possible. And you also want to make sure that you aren't cutting off any of these small tabs. But I'm going to get my knife, which I do recommend having a knife like this that has the snappable blades because they do get dull pretty quickly. But I'm just going to cut on the inside of this mirror cover. So this excess here can get tossed. Then I go back over my edge, make sure it's all pressed down, cut away any other excess that I don't want to have. If there's these little tabs, I obviously want to make sure that they're not covered in vinyl so that they could actually do their job. So I'm just going to notch around them. So now that I am happy with my work and my end result, after I finish this one, there we go. So I'm happy with this. There really aren't any wrinkles around here. Then I can post heat, and for post heat, you want to make sure that it hits 180 degrees. Otherwise, it's not going to kill all the memory in the film, and that's what's going to cause it to peel back and finger. So I set this to my second setting, the highest setting. And I also have a digital thermometer here, IR thermometer, just to make sure that this is hitting 180 degrees. But for a small piece like this, it really shouldn't take much time at all. So I'm not sure what happened right here. I guess there was a small cut or something in the film, maybe a defect. As soon as I hit it with heat, it just spread open and peeled back. So I'm going to redo this really quick. But like I said, this has been like 10 minutes and super easy to do. So that took a little bit longer than expected, but that's pretty typical from vinyl, at least what I have experienced. So here it is. It only took me another like 5 to 10 minutes to redo this piece. Super easy and simple. So if you have mirrors and you want to change the color of them or black them out or do carbon fiber on them, very easy to do. Fortunately, I have easy mirrors to do, and they have a nice gradual curve, not too crazy. I know the newer STIs, or WRX, the 2015 Plus, have a more aggressive angle to them, so that kind of sucks. But super easy to do. Now I'm going to grab my hood scoop and do that. I'm not going to show you that because that's going to take way too long, but I will update you guys once that is done. All right, guys, I'm checking in with you. I've been at this hood scoop for the past like 2.5 hours. It is almost 9:30, quarter after or so. But this is as far as I got right now, and I'm having a hell of a time with this part, which is the same issue that I had previously. The issue is the way this is shaped, this top part basically forces the material to come out further than this bottom lip here. So it ends up all stretched out and really screwed up, and it's hard to stretch it. So I'm probably going to just start over because this is ugly. And my work surface was not as clean as I thought it was. So I have all this ugly bubbling and crap underneath, which it's all contaminants. If I pull this back, it's hard to see, but it's kind of dirty. I have bits of even the seal that's on the back of this, which is kind of hard to avoid. The best way to avoid that is to not screw around with it too much and not pull it back and wrestle with it. But like I said, I've been at this for like 2 hours and I'm fed up with it, and it's going to be freaking ugly anyhow. So I'm done with it. I'm just going to rip it off and start with a fresh piece and try something else. And it is dark outside, but I'll try to show you my mirror. So that's about all I have for you for this update. I am going to rewrap this hood scoop. It's probably going to take me late into the night. I'll have it done for tomorrow morning for Cars and Coffee. So if you are going to either of the meets, whether it's Cars and Coffee or the Pittsburgh Car Scene meet this weekend, feel free to come and check it out. Say hi to me, see the car, whatever. But yeah, I'm not making another video for this. I will film me doing it so that when I do get it right, I could show you what I did. But that's it for this update. So I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Like I said, I kind of miss doing daily updates, but otherwise I don't have anything else going on. Whereas when I was doing the vinyl wrap, I had something to talk about every day. Other than that, I really don't. So in any case, I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank all my new subscribers and welcome you to the channel. And I'll catch you guys next time.